because today is a very auspicious day, very special day. There is many significant events that happen today, and one of them is Gundicha Marjanam, where Lord Chaitanya, he takes his devotees, all his associates, and they go and clean the Gundicha temple. And this happens just the day before Rath Yatra. So today is Gundicha Marjanam happening in Jagannath Puri in India, and tomorrow will be the big Rath Yatra festival there. So this is and there is a full chapter in Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 12 in Madhya Leela, the cleansing of the Gundicha temple. Also, as we did the Puspanjali, today is also disappearance day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and it is also disappearance day of Gadadhar Pandit, one of the associates of Lord Chaitanya in the Panchatattva. So there is many prominent events and there is so much time. So we will just read this one verse and try share a little bit about all these three events. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gora Bhakta Vrinda. So this is the first verse in chapter 12 of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela. Shri Gundicha Mandiram Atma Vrindaye Samarjayan Shalanta Sagora Svachittavachittalam Shitalam Ujvalam Cha Krishno Pavesapoikam Chakara. Translation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu washed and cleansed the Gundicha temple with his devotees and associates. In this way, he made it as cool and bright as his own heart, and thus he made the temple a befitting place for Lord Shri Krishna to sit. There is no purport to this verse, but we will read purport to one of the verses where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he gives a very deeper understanding on this pastime of the Gundicha Marjanam. So this is the purport to text 135. I got only a few points, but if someone wants to read the whole thing, you can read it. In commenting on the cleansing of the Gundicha temple, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as the world leader, was personally giving instructions on how one should receive Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, within one's cleansed and pacified heart. If one wants to see Krishna seated in his heart, he must first cleanse the heart, as prescribed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Siksha Ashtaka, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. In this age, everyone's heart is especially unclean, as confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Hridayanta Stohi Abhadrani. To wash away all dirty things accumulated within the heart, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advised everyone to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So yeah, this is a whole chapter in Madhya Leela. We can read this chapter today, meditate on this pastime, on how Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya, he personally cleansed this temple, Gundicha temple. Why is this Gundicha temple so significant? So we can remember the history a little bit. This is the place where Lord Jagannath appeared actually. When King Indradyumna, he wanted to worship Lord Jagannath, Nila Madhava, and then they brought Vishwakarma, the heavenly architect. He actually made these deities of Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra. But the condition he kept was that while he is making these deities, he should not be interrupted by anyone. So he kept the doors closed, and he said, how you will know is I am doing my work is by hearing the sound. And so after a couple of weeks, they couldn't hear any sound. And the name of wife of King Indradyumna is also Gundicha. So she asked the king, that old man is probably died because he didn't get any food, nothing. And for 2 weeks, how can you survive like this? So why don't you go and check? And everyone is telling the king, no, you took a vow, you're not going to interrupt him. So how is this going to happen? You cannot go and interrupt him now. He's probably doing his work. But I was hearing one lecture on this pastime, and His Holiness Prabodhananda Swami, he was saying that how things happen is once the queen, there is a argument, and if the queen says something, then the king, generally they have to agree. So the king agreed to the queen, and he interrupted Vishwakarma, and he opened the doors, and that's how we see the current form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. So this is actually Queen Gundicha. She was feeling very she wasn't feeling very good within her, that she felt the deities were left unfinished. If you look at the forms, it looks like they don't have hands, and it's not like a complete presentation of the deities. So she was feeling this kind of grief, sadness within her, and there was no way to console her. So it is described that Lord Jagannath personally told her that this is actually my Mahabhav form, and that's why not everyone can see my full manifestation. So at another place I read that it's like you see how in one of the purports in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 2, there is this verse about the turtle withdrawing its senses. So Jagannath form is like that. He's not revealing his full form. He's withdrawn some of the parts. But this is his Mahabhav form. So we can meditate on this pastime in this way. But Lord Jagannath personally consoled Queen Gundicha that you are like my mother. You don't have to feel sad about this. And he promised her that every year I will visit this place, just so to assure her that you don't have to feel bad. I have great love for you. So that's why Jagannath deities, they travel. This temple is a couple of miles northeast from the Jagannath temple in Jagannath Puri, and the deities, they stay here for almost a week, I believe, after the Rath Yatra. So that's how this pastime happened. But Lord Chaitanya, he asked the superintendent of the temple in Jagannath Puri that we want to clean the temple. And the superintendent was like, this is not appropriate service for you. This doesn't suit, something like this doesn't suit you. Lord Chaitanya was like, no, we will clean the temple. So he asked all his associates, and the superintendent said, okay, if this is your desire, then we will consider it is your pastime to do this. But couple of points that I got from reading this chapter is one of the points Lord Chaitanya made is that he was personally cleaning this, and he was overseeing everyone, all the devotees engaged in cleansing the temple. And he even mentioned to them, so when they finished cleaning, they took out all the dirt, and they made two heaps. One heap was made by Lord Chaitanya himself, and another heap of the trash was made by all the devotees. And it is mentioned the pile of trash collected by Lord Chaitanya was bigger than all the devotees, all the rest of the devotees. So he looked at it and he said, I can see who is putting how much effort in cleansing the temple. And this is how I can tell how devoted all of you are. So, and then he said, okay, we will clean it one more time. So they cleansed twice. And second time, after that, they cleansed with water. So we can see on this altar, actually, Lord Chaitanya is using his own garment. And he cleansed this area with his own garment. So Lord Chaitanya is showing by himself how we have to cleanse ourselves. This pastime actually, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in this purport to text 135 is explaining. Lord Chaitanya is showing to us how we have to actually clean our heart of all the impurities. Last few classes we've been discussing in Srimad Bhagavatam classes how one has to become free from all the different anarthas. So this is a very wonderful pastime to study and meditate on, especially this purport where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is giving so many deeper insights, and he's even explaining all the different anarthas, how they come, and how by engaging in this chanting of the Hare Krishna, engaging in Bhakti Yoga, one can actually become free from all these anarthas. One can cleanse one's heart, just like Lord Chaitanya cleansed the temple for Lord Jagannath to come and sit there. So same way, many people want to see God, many people want to experience God. So this is the process to actually see God. When our heart is cleansed, then Lord Krishna, actually Srila Prabhupada mentions in this purport in the Bhagavatam, Shanvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also quotes this in this purport. And he's saying that Lord Krishna is already there in our heart, but because our heart is unclean, so we cannot see him. He's covered from our vision. But when we cleanse our heart by engaging in this marjanam process in Bhakti Yoga, then the same Lord Krishna reveals himself. And the devotee, seeing the beauty of Lord Krishna, they becomes attracted. And then they cannot be attracted to anything else. That's all they want to see and do. So this is the temple of Gaur Gadadhar in Champahati. It's not too far from Mayapur. When we were in Mayapur, we visited there actually with, I believe, with Kadam Kanan Swami. And we had a amazing kirtan there. All the devotees were dancing, chanting. And the pujaris, they were so happy to see the devotees. So this is where they worship the deities of Gaura Gadadhar. So Gadadhar Pandit He is actually considered an expansion of Srimati Radharani. Gadadhar Pandit, the fourth branch, is described as an incarnation of the pleasure potency of Sri Krishna. No one, therefore, can equal him. So, this is one of the purports, translations from Adi Leela, chapter 10. But this temple, they actually worship the deities of Gaur Gadadhar. So, Gadadhar Pandit, there are so many pastimes, but one pastime I would share is briefly is that when Lord Chaitanya and Gadadhar Pandit, they were almost like equal in age, and they went to school together, so they spent their childhood together. And Gadadhar Pandit, from beginning, he was like very composed, very serious, and Lord Chaitanya, we know, he was like very frivolous, and he would do so many things, he would argue with people. So that was Lord Chaitanya as Nimai Pandit. But Gadadhar Pandit, one day Lord Chaitanya said to Gadadhar Pandit that you will see, one day I will become such a great devotee, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva will come and bow down to me. So Gadadhar Pandit was very pleased to hear that. So these were their pastimes. But it's mentioned that Gadadhar Pandit would get disturbed by all these frivolous activities Nimai Pandit would do as a child, and he would actually wish that he become a devotee one day. So this is their pastimes. But Lord Chaitanya, he would, they could not separate each other. They were so in such a bond of deep love with each other. Although Gadadhar Pandit would get disturbed by his activities, still he couldn't stay away from Lord Chaitanya, even when he was doing those activities. And then later, there are so many pastimes. I think it was Gadadhar Pandit who was given the Kshetra Sannyas, and he wanted to go with Lord Chaitanya, but Lord Chaitanya told him, how can you leave the service of Gopinath deity? You have the service. And Gadadhar Pandit was like, I don't care about the deity. You are the Supreme Lord himself. I don't care about the deity. But then, again Lord Chaitanya made him stay. He's like, you cannot do this. You have to worship the deity. So they had so many intimate pastimes. And of course, we only have so much time. But this is a day, if you have time, you can study these pastimes and meditate on them. But we can understand through all these pastimes what's the desire of Lord Chaitanya. He wants this Sankirtan movement to spread everywhere. So how did that happen? So we can come to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur now. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he actually laid the philosophical foundation for ISKCON. He translated so many books. And many of us, we may know, one of the book made it to the McGill University Library. Srila Prabhupada mentioned this. And so it was Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur who envisioned all this. And this was his desire for this wisdom of Bhakti Yoga to spread all over the world. But he could not do it because he had a family of 10 children. More than 10? 13. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati was the 10th. Is that right? Yeah, he was the 10th child of the 13. And he was a magistrate, which meant he had a very busy life. You can imagine, like magistrate of a big place in those times in the British rule. And not only that, whoever is the magistrate in those days, they would also be in charge of the Jagannath temple. So he also had the responsibility of the Jagannath temple. We can ask Savas Prabhu if he is made magistrate for California with the responsibility of managing the temple and BBT. We can go and ask him later if he has time to take care of all these responsibilities. But we can imagine how organized Bhaktivinoda Thakur must be. And not only that, despite all these responsibilities, he translated so many books that these days, so many devotees, they study, especially Jaiva Dharma. In that he describes so many details about bhakti. So that's Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So he could not do it himself. So what did he do? What can you do if you cannot do something yourself? You have to ask for help. So he asked for help. How did the help come? As a ray of Vishnu. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He actually prayed for a child who could help him preach the glories of devotional service. And that's how one of the sons of 13 sons he had was Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who was foretold to be a great personality actually. When the child take birth, these people, they come and they predict the future of the child, astrologer, all these different people who are in these different experts in these different fields. So they predicted, they could see that he has features of a great personality. And so this is the help Bhakti Vinod Thakur got to spread the glories of Bhakti Yoga, devotion service. But even Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he laid the foundation, he laid the ground for ISKCON to be manifested, but he didn't really do much outside India. There were some efforts made, but most of it was limited to India. And that's where he established the Gaudiya Math and so many places. There were some disciples who went outside India to different places, especially Srila Prabhupada himself mentioned some of his god brothers. They went to UK and they tried, but they didn't receive much result. So Srila Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, he actually took this mission and he spread this all over the world. And he actually, once he was asked by his disciples, why did he decide to come to the USA? And he said, well, my god brothers, they went to UK and failed. So I thought I will go somewhere else and fail. This was his response. So I will try go somewhere else and fail. But we can see today we are here at New Dwarka in Los Angeles. And this is how this bhakti wisdom spread. But it was Bhakti Vinod Thakur who actually predicted that this one Senapati Bhakta will come, who will spread the glories of Lord Chaitanya of devotion service all over the world. So that Senapati Bhakta he actually referred to was our Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki jai, Gadadhar Pandit ki jai, Gundicha Marjanam ki jai. Hare Krishna.